Today I am going to show you exactly how much money you can make from using one of the best strategies that I've been doing whilst also tasking at the same time in Escape from Tarkov PVE mode, and you can do it whether you're playing PVE or PvP. It should work just as good. So with that in mind, this is how we've actually done it. So first things first, it relates to essentially the rb-pk marked room key, which you can pick up on the flee for about 12.5 million as it currently stands in the game. It also revolves around the rb-pkpm and the rb-vo key. So the rb-pkpm is about 8.8 million and the rb-vo key, which we've got here, is about 8 million as well. So when you combine all of these together, it costs about 28 million to actually be able to purchase all three keys. But the good thing about this is that not only are these keys going to make you your money back from actually purchasing them, but they're also going to make you money from actually opening them without even taking into account any of the cost that you're spending on the keys themselves. And I'll tell you why. So starting off with why that is, well, because of the fact that the rb-pkpm, rb-bk and the rb-vo key are all keys that you can do on reserve, so you can do them all in one raid. You can open all three in one raid and it's not too difficult to actually do, albeit the rb-vo is on the other side of the map to the other two keys, but in order to get there you can do it in a very safe manner by going around the outskirts of the maps where no PMCs or pretty much any scavs will ever spawn near. So yes, you can go there, you can do it, but it's really down to how much time you're going to save by doing that and whether you as a player value your time over going and potentially getting some loot and spending a little bit more. But with that all in mind, all three of these keys are important because you need to have all three. But what you can do is you can open up the rb-pkpm and the rb-bk in the same location. Basically, they're about 200 meters away from each other, and so you can do them within about 3 minutes of opening one of them to the other one. And so it's super simple, super quick to actually do, plus you get all of the loot out of those marked room keys, plus the potential to actually get yourself some key cards, which we'll cover after 9 openings of each of those. And we've got all of the results that we actually got from that, so I'll showcase exactly how much we made from opening those keys. But once you've done that, you don't want to use every single use of these keys. Now there's a reason for that. It's because at trader level 3 with Jaeger you get a barter trade, which you can trade in all three of those keys in order to get yourself a dorm's marked room key. Now what you might understand is that yes, you've paid 13 million for one of them, you've paid 8 million for another, and about 8 million for the other one. So total is about 28 million that you've spent on these keys. But remember, you've used those keys at least to get them down to 1 out of 10, and they're available to use in the barter, which means you can use 27 uses in total, leaving 1 on each one, and get all of the loot from those rooms to be able to then get yourself a 10 out of 10 dorms marked room key. And just for the sake of this video, I am going to use a 10 out of 10 rb-vo marked room key to show you exactly what we mean. But just to clarify, this is how much they cost right now. So an rb-vo, 7.5 million. Just for clarity, I'll make a total so you can see exactly how much it's cost in order to get these. I got them when they were cheaper, but either way, we'll value it on current prices, not what we bought them for, since they have inflated in price. But you're sitting at around 28.5 million roughly to 29 million. Call it 29 in total, since we'll be conservative, and that way if you watch this video in the future, maybe they're more expensive, you'll see kind of a good indication as to how much they cost. So the rb-vo, rb-bk and rb-pkpm. So if we go to Jaeger, we go to the trader level 3, you'll find that there is a barter trade, and you go down, it's the dorms marked room 314 key, which we can trade in all three of these keys. We've got a 1 out of 10 on the two rb-pk and rb-pkpm, which you can have a look at a full review and kind of run and a loot run as to how you can do that alongside get other loot as well and get yourself military power filters, all of that sort of stuff. I covered it in a long video, about 30 minutes, going through every single step of the way and the other loot spawns that you can go to and how you can get yourself some kills along the way as well to increase your level at the same time and get yourself some skill levels as well. So with that being said, you can find that video in the description of this one if you want a full rundown as to how to use these keys. But in order of speed and quickness, we're not going to show you exactly how to open them. We're just going to show you how you can make money off of them. So once we've actually got this, we click deal and we will get ourselves our dorms marked room key. Now you might be thinking, okay, but you spent 28 million on this in total. So if we have a look at the dorms marked room key, currently a 10 out of 10 dorms marked room key is sitting at about 24 million. So if we take into account the total that we spent, 29 million, we've spent about 5 million on being able to get ourselves all of those keys, open all of those rooms, and then, you know, we can either sell or use the dorms marked room key, which I'd highly recommend because the dorms marked room key is absolutely broken and you make so much money off of this one key. It's worth using. But if you're not interested in that, then I'd highly recommend you just sell it for 24 million and then restart the process. But in terms of now we've got ourselves a 24 million key, we've spent essentially 5 million in order to do that. Now, the great thing is you don't pay any fee commission because you're just barter trading, so you don't sell the keys or anything like this. You can just simply get yourself the dorms marked room key. And now that we have that, we've spent 5 million. And so we've opened up a load of those rooms. So what kind of loot did you actually get from them? And were we going to make back the 5 million that we actually spent? Well, case in point, this is what we managed to get ourselves from the marked room key. Now, albeit I haven't saved all of the 21 WS keys and all of the other kind of crappy keys, it's only really the high tier loot that we've actually kept from these rooms. So after 9 openings of the rb-pk and the pkpm, we managed to get ourselves a green, a yellow, 2 blacks and a blue. Now, if we're to total up all of these key cards, you'll find that the green, if we go to therapists, since they're better to sell to therapists than they are to actually sell on the flea, which is funny because of the flea market kind of commission that you're going to pay. If we sell all of these and we just shift click them or control, well, we can't actually do that apparently. We have 21.7 million. And we paid 5 million for the pleasure of this. So we've made 16.7 million. And what's even better is there's no flea commission when you sell to therapists. So the money that we've made here compared to the cost of buying all of those keys is a flat profit. There is no flea commission that you have to spend in order to make that money. We have made 16.7 million from just opening those keys, as well as all of the other loose loot that we've actually got from opening those rooms. And the best bit about it is that I was basically doing tasks, so I wasn't focusing on trying to do this as speedily, as quickly as possible, and certainly I may have missed a keycard in those rooms. I was just simply going through, doing it as quickly as possible, but still managed to make 16 million. Now, most of that comes from the green keycard, since it costs nearly half of the total value of all of those, but quite easily you're going to be able to get yourself greens. You could get super lucky, you could get a green and a red, you could get 2 keycards in one room, which is possible to do, albeit the rb-pk is actually the better room for keycards. It's where I found most of these keycards. I think 4 of them came from the rb-pk room and only 1 of them came from the rb-pkpm key. So still worth opening both of them at the same time, since you can make the trade for the barter trade, costing you 5 million in total. But of course, not only have we got all of these key cards, but I didn't keep all of the loose loot because I don't want to keep all of that. But essentially, we probably made in the region of about 3 million to 4 million just off of loose loot, including keycard holders, ammo boxes that you get in those rooms, weapons that you get in those rooms, plus you're getting weapons that you can't actually buy off of the flea, loads of different extra loot that you can use. So I'd highly recommend you just do this run whenever you play reserve and make yourself millions of rubles without actually really having to do a whole lot other than go down into the bunker and take out a couple of raiders and a couple of PMCs that may be there. And sometimes there's not even any raiders or PMCs in the bunker itself, so you can loot up both of them very easily and only have to deal with maybe 2-3 scavs at most. So it's a really good way, and I'd highly recommend, if you want a full breakdown of how to do that run, that you go and check out this video on screen right here on the left. But if you have enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe down below, and we'll be doing plenty more in the future. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.